Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Living the Miracle. We're living the miracle. Um, I'm John Jacob Mubarak, and it's my great pleasure to be here. I'm at Rythmia, and I get to sit in for Jerry for these weeks. He's out of the country on really cool Rythmia business. Some wonderful things are happening at Rythmia, and I'm excited to be here because I get to deliver his talk, what he normally delivers. And so this month, I'm doing a series called Living the Miracle, and we're talking about how to maintain the miracle in your life. And the miracle that you get is here at Rythmia, right? What is the miracle? For Rythmia, we call a miracle a soul merger. When you see who you've become, merge with your soul and heal your heart. That's a miracle. When you see the coping mechanisms, everybody knows that. Everybody knows the stuff they want to fix, the stuff that they think is wrong with them. That stuff is a hedge, a protection against feeling some uncomfortable feelings. And those uncomfortable feelings are usually that you don't feel enough. You don't feel like you belong. You feel like you're rejected. You feel like nothing good happens for you. You feel like you're not safe. You're scared. You're not seen. You're not heard. All sorts of those things, those feelings we don't want to feel. And so we become a perfectionist, a people pleaser, hyper successful, avoidant, addicted, a perfectionist, controlling. Those are the things we do. Oh, that's going to protect us from feeling uncomfortable. If I'm perfect, then I won't be rejected, but it never is enough. And when you see that, then you get to merge back together with your soul. And that soul merger is going back in essence and giving yourself what you needed, that you actually heal yourself. The medicine helps you do that. And then from that place of wholeness, from that merged soul, when you're back together, whole and complete, then you get to heal. You actually get to heal your physical body. You get to feel your emotional body. You get to heal your spiritual body. And you forgive. You forgive mainly yourself. That's what we call a miracle. So whether you've had this experience at Rythmia or not, I bet you've been to a retreat, you've had an experience in meditation, you've been to a seminar, you went to a talk, and you went there and you had a great experience, and then you left and the experience faded. How do you maintain the experience that you had at a retreat or at a service or at a seminar or at Rythmia? How do you maintain that feeling in life? That's what today's talk is about. So last week we talked about receiving the message. Like you got the message, like you had the insight. Now what? That was last week's topic. And this week we're talking about living it, how to live that miracle without needing the constant high. We've seen it here at Rythmia. I see it at Agape too. At Agape, you go to a service at Agape and Reverend Michael, the whole service is designed to help you feel so good. You walk in, there's great music, and the music, lifts you and you start singing and chanting. And then there's prayer, there's affirmative prayer, there's meditation. All this stuff happens before Reverend Michael gets out on the stage and talks. And then he gets out and speaks and you're ready because you've been opened up and you get this great message. Whoa. And then you leave Agape feeling so good. And then by Wednesday, you're like, would I go to service on Sunday? And you can't wait to get back so you can get that high again. We see it all the time at Rythmia. Why does it fade? Because people aren't doing the work. It's sacred discipline versus spiritual high. So, and I see it all the time in the medicine world too. People come have amazing experiences on ayahuasca. Then they go back into life and it's like, I'd rather be doing that because I want to feel that way again. But the ceremony is just a glimpse into how you can live your life every day. So real integration doesn't come from staying in the ceremony energy forever. It doesn't come in staying in the Agape energy forever. It comes from sacred discipline in daily life. I mean, have you ever felt a crash after a peak experience and wondered, did I lose the magic? I mean, that's the similarity between Agape and Rythmia is, a peak experience. You had a peak experience, and then there was a crash. And you feel like, did that even happen? Did that retreat ever happen? So this is what happens, normally, right? The myth of spiritual high. The myth of spiritual high is that you're supposed to be in that experience all the time. But what happens post-ceremony or after any peak spiritual experience is there's this expanded state, and then there's a natural contraction, and the ego feels like, I lost it. Now, a couple of things to talk about expansion and contraction. So you have an expanded state. Now you're expanded. And it's not like expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. It's expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion, right? So even though you're feeling an expansion after that peak experience, even though you're feeling a contraction after that peak spiritual experience, you're still way more expanded than you were before. But it doesn't feel like it. It feels the same. A metaphor that you can think of is a spiral up. So there's this issue. Let's say the issue is here. And now you spiral around it. You have, I got an insight around that issue. And now you're spiraling up. And now you're up here. And you're back at the same issue. Like, I thought I dealt with that. Yeah, you did. But you're dealing with it now at a higher level. And then you spiral up again. And now you're here again. I thought I dealt with that. You did. But now you're dealing with it at a higher level, a more expanded state. So it feels like you're dealing with the same thing. I thought I healed that. But you're dealing with it at a more expanded level. So leaving Rythmia, people have a glow. In fact, we teach a class called Afterglow. Afterglow, Afterglow. And it's normal. It's a normal experience to have this huge peak experience and then a little bit of a contraction when you go home or a few weeks after. Retreat business, the retreat bliss that you feel does modulate a little bit, and spiritual discipline, spiritual practice is what maintains this miracle. And the core teaching here is that contraction isn't a sign that you failed. It's a sign that Spirit trusts you enough to walk without training wheels, right? Agape service on Sunday, ceremony, those are training wheels. You got a lot of support. You got a lot of special stuff happening to support you. And now training wheels get taken off and you got to learn to balance. And your sacred discipline is the bridge. So there's a dopamine high, a serotonin high from a spiritual experience. And you got to choose devotion over the high. Because a lot of people just keep going back for the experience and back for the experience. And they're not doing the daily work to help maintain this. That's called integration and embodiment. And it's a very common thing to feel this way. And a lot of times you feel like, I didn't heal it. I thought I healed it and I didn't. I have a very, common experience of this for me. My own personal experience was I was working on forgiveness in a ceremony. And at the end of the ceremony, man, I forgave. I was sending blessings, praying for people. Oh my God, I was just like, yes, woohoo. I can love these people. I forgive them. I forgive me. It's all forgiven. It's so good. Oh, the ceremony was so good. And then 3 days later, I was in a meeting and someone mentioned those people. And I was like, I thought, oh shit, I didn't heal that. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. But I did. But contraction is normal. And the discipline is choosing the forgiveness again. To choose, I'm forgiving again. I'm letting it go again. I can let go. And then you want to hold on, and then you let go. And then you want to hold on, and then you let go. This is the temptation is to doubt the miracle, right? And the moment you realize that it was a daily return, not a peak, but this is to build your transformation. So you're anchoring the peak experience through your spiritual practice. What are those spiritual practices? Breath work, meditation, journaling, nature connect, yoga, community, sacred service. Being of service is a great way to maintain this connection. So you anchor, and even a mantra is a great way to help you anchor all of these things, right? We're going to use all of our tools. Doing your daily practice is not something that you check off. It's not something that you rush through, but it's a commitment that I make. Now, for example, this morning, I was in a little bit of a hurry. There was some technicians coming to my house in the morning, and so it kind of interrupted my practice. But I really wanted to get a couple of these things in, so I did a shorter practice. But I did my practice. So one key to maintaining this miracle is consistency over intensity. That we have a consistent spiritual practice, and to have a consistent spiritual practice, it has to be expandable and contractible. You have to be able to, if I have more time, I can expand it. If I have less time, I can shrink it, but I'm still doing it. And just doing it, just keeping that commitment to myself is anchoring the practice. And so I'm using meditation. I'm using prayer. I'm using Kundalini yoga. I'm using mantras and affirmation in my morning practice. And it anchors me. It stabilizes me. So 3 practices for sacred discipline. 3 simple tools that you can apply immediately. And just choose a practice, one practice. Choose one practice that you can commit to for the next 7 days. One practice that you can commit to for the next 7 days. Breath work, gratitude journaling, prayer, movement, mantra, affirmation, nature connect. One thing that you're just going to commit to every day. And here's how you anchor in a new habit. First is get clear on your why. Why? Why do you want to anchor in this? Why do you want to do this spiritual practice? Get really clear. I want to maintain my miracle. I want to embody the insights that I had. And what are those insights? I want to be less reactive. I want to be more responsive. And then why? Why do you want to be more responsive instead of reactive? Well, I'd probably get along better with my coworkers. My relationship might be better. My kids might be more appreciative. I might be a little bit more gentle on myself. So get clear on your why. Number 1. Number 2, select a time that you're going to do this every day. So I'm going to do my practice every morning when I get up, or every day when I get home from work. Just pick a time, and then pick a duration. Now, consistency over intensity. Pick an easy amount. Like if you're just beginning, 5 or 10 minutes, but have it be expandable. So let's say one Saturday, now I have more time, so I can do 20 minutes, but keep it simple. And then accountability. Find somebody that you can be accountable to. It makes a huge difference to have a group chat, to have an individual or a couple individuals that are working on the same thing or in the same general area that you can check in with and just say, hey, I did my practice today. So number 1, what's your why? Number 2, pick a time every day. Number 3, a duration every day. Number 4, accountability. And what am I missing? Accountability. I think I missed something, but these are key ways of anchoring in a new practice. So non-negotiable. This is non-negotiable. I'm going to do it every day. Consistency over intensity. It might just be 5 minutes today. It might be 10 minutes tomorrow. It might be 20 minutes the next day, and it might be 5 minutes again the day after that. But I did it every day. Keeping your word to yourself is anchoring this. It's a non-negotiable daily anchor. So choose one. Breath work, meditation, yoga, gratitude journaling. One practice, movement that you can do. In the middle of the day, so now you've done your practice in the morning, another principle, another simple tool that you can use is the 1 minute reset. The 1 minute reset. when you feel disconnected, when you feel those old feelings of fear or doubt or worry or lack or comparison or not enoughness or being rejected, being left behind, when you start to feel that way, pause. Just pause. And mindfulness is huge. Mindfulness is just bringing your awareness to, this is how I'm feeling right now. Let me just check in. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, expand the belly, roll it up into the chest, exhale through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 3 deep breaths. And then whisper something to yourself that helps you to return. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm safe. I'm lovable. I'm enough. This moment is enough, and I'm enough in it. I'm connected to everything and everyone. Whatever it is that helps calm your emotional body. So the 1-minute reset. You can even set a timer on your phone, not a timer, but an alarm. Celebrating doing your practice, celebrating choosing being present over reacting, celebrating that you paused in the moment, celebrating that you did your 3 minutes during the day, celebrating that you had mindfulness about how you were eating, celebrating that you paused and just gave thanks over the food before you ate. Acknowledge yourself. And it's not acknowledging yourself for checking, oh, I did my practice and I went to the gym and I, ate healthy. All that stuff is good. But it's also acknowledging yourself for noticing. Acknowledge yourself for being compassionate, acknowledging yourself for being responsive, for pausing, celebrating and that you're doing your practice, that you're staying kind. Those kinds of acknowledgement are key to how do I want to say this? Those kinds of acknowledgments are key to anchoring and embodying the growth that you've experienced. So remember, consistency over intensity. The miracle wasn't given to you to fade. It was planted in you so that it could grow roots. It's like a seed, and you need to attend to it. You need to water it and make sure it gets sunlight and maybe pull the weeds out every once in a while. But living the miracle is about consistency over intensity, and picking one practice that's non-negotiable that you're going to do in the morning, pausing and acknowledging, celebrating the wins, celebrating the mundane, celebrating the things that you wouldn't normally celebrate. Now, next week, the topic's the ego's comeback, how to stay rooted in truth. So when old patterns appear, it's not defeat, it's your next level of mastery. That's next week's talk. So I'm super grateful to have this chance to speak with you. I know that we are steady vessels through which the miracle lives in us every day. You are a steady vessel, consistency over intensity. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you, and I thank God for you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you.